So I've fought this nice guy on both fronts, right? I don't know where it really came from, to be honest. It's just a case of, this is what I thought it was. I actually thought it was because I grew up with, well, obviously, my mom and two sisters. I thought I had an understanding of, okay, what women would want and what I should probably be to, be attractive or better for them or give them what they want. But I do see where it may have been slightly flawed based on their perception of a man. I think I was giving them too much of what they saw in themselves, right? Like I would do things that is almost like if there's a clear difference between men and women, even though women say they want this from men, but when you give them that, it's as though because society and the way they've been brought up, they expected something else. It's as though they see that too close to themselves. So it's been a challenge for me.
Oh, so what you're saying is that the nicer you get, the more feminine you are.
No, it's not saying that the more feminine, but it's as though
they're relating to him.
They
on
were
such a
relating
close
with me
level
so close that it almost was challenging.
Yeah, they're not
Like
getting.
They're just so not accustomed to it.
That it was,
Right, but you just.
So it's almost like a supportive girlfriend you started to become a bestie.
Sorry.
No, but that's good. Sorry, you could have simply said you're very
Bestie. You started to become the bestie.
In many cases, yes.
All right. Which the way you explain it, I understand that, and that would have been my point with your first question, where I think I wouldn't say women want things that they probably don't even know they want, or they don't understand how they want it. Sometimes how you do something, it might change their perception of it, or
True.
they might think they want that, right? Like they just, whether it's society or their friends or whatever, like they want this, they want a man to do X, Y, and Z. But they personally not gonna react in a welcoming way to that just because they personally don't want it. It's society telling them that they should have this or they should want this, so they reacting to that. And I could understand how in certain situations they just not accustomed to things happening, and when that happens, it's just so out of sorts as how come a man doing this, even though it's something that a man probably would do,
yeah.
Or should do
in the best sense.
Yeah.
It's just so alienated for them that it's just odd. So I mean,
I don't even know. Like, for me, right? So, you see, you grew up around your mom and your two sisters. I could argue that way. I grew up around 7 women. So, I do jump into the nice guy role or whatever. And I don't think I try to be a nice guy. I think I just do. I know I go above and beyond, especially for my female friends. There are several times where people would see me interact with my female friends and say, you all make a nice couple. When really and truly, I am being completely platonic. Even all the men is probably clown me something. I'm say, yeah, boy, Bella, and boy, but like, yo, I have long-standing female. I have long-standing female friendships that has never crossed the line. Mystery voice included.
Mystery voice.
Right.
9 years. And, but so the women who I did cross the line with on the nice guy tip or whatever, right? Again, I'm not trying to be a nice guy to get in your drawers. I'm just being normal. But there are times when, like, that's just taken for granted, where it's like, he is reliable, consistent, so he will always be there now. So, wherever. But then in my mind, I'm like, but these are the things you'll say you want. Why, when you get, you're taking it for, it's not valued anymore now. So, like, I always there so you could do your thing. And then, when I decide to
not be there,
disappear now and not be that, all those qualities, it's like, oh, you switch up. I said, well, you took that for granted. I thought I was doing all the right things. That's one of the main things that mashed me up in my last situations, because I'm like, all right, well, I've been consistent, blah, blah, blah. You had the passcode to my phone. You could do whatever you want. And then it's like, it blow up in your face. So me now, when I jump out and I say, oh, going on, like, it go take a little minute before I get out to know. Yeah, no, it go take a little minute before you all get that out of me. Now it's, why you're so closed. Why you're so closed. And I'm saying, and that's another thing that we could get into with male identity, especially in heterosexual relationships, where women are given the benefit of the doubt. That's a challenge that I face, because I don't want to lie. When a relationship or any kind of engagement is over, it's usually blame is set on the man. Unless there's something outright that is scandalous and public that you could just point to. It's usually, well, what did you do? Even if I relay the story in the most softened way possible, it's like, so is there nothing else you could have done to make it better? Are you sure? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, you know, if it was your female friend telling you this story, you would just say, man, it's dog. You wanna ask those questions. So when I do not open up to you, do you understand why? Because you're not allowing me to be emotional, and you're not allowing me to be vulnerable. Yeah. So I close up, and now it's like, no, you need to open up.
I think male emotional expression is so not well defined of how it's supposed to happen. That is kind of be either one or two extremes. You understand? Men might either be too sensitive. Or too ignorant. Or too ignorant now. Like you just letting everything out, or you only letting the loving or the very, I wouldn't say sad, but more melancholy aspects of you expressed to the girl. And I think that might lend to the point where if like a guy and a girl break up, or whatever cases, where they might say, okay, what did you not do to save the relationship? I think because a relationship is probably foundationally based in an emotional connection, it might lean on the fact that maybe the woman was emotionally available to maybe mend things, but before they would say the guy wasn't emotionally involved. And just off rip, they would say it's the guy, but I think for that reason. Because
there is a disproportionate belief, and that comes from public expression, especially in the age of social media, where men are worse than women. I believe it's a disproportion because I get horror stories from my closest brethren that they don't share at all. And I'm like, bro, if you put this on Facebook, even now, as I would talk about an experience like that, I have to be cognizant of how I come across. I need to be calm. Because if I start to, get excited and loud and things, like people watching and be like, who heard this fella, boy? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have to be very careful with how I'm speaking. Even how I'm bringing this across. I am in my mind saying, Jamil, don't get too loose, even though you had about 3 drinks inside already with no food. Don't get too loose because now allow it. Don't allow yourself to lose that control because people would start to take it less seriously. But a woman could, and she would be empathized with now. And I find that to me is one of the things I struggle with in the whole male identity crisis, because my situation, as I explained to you all, which I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, listen, that these guys have been extremely supportive and with zero judgment. I could vent on this every day if I wanted to, and I know them fellas, and I would just say, bro, we hire back. But I'm saying, on a wider scale, had I vent my story, I might have come across as, a way. But then, if I did to her a quarter of the things she did to me, I done.
Yeah, I think, bro,
I'm done.
To be honest, I think the identity that we're struggling with is simply both parties, whether male or female, understand the identity, The difference is men have not been able to have that support system, that reinforcement, so to speak, and that support, I guess, in the identity. It's very selective groups, but then again, just like I said before with some other things, we are select privileged few. Yeah. Because you could sit here and say you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 virgins that would have listened to you and not make a judgment and support you during some traumatic ordeal. But how many other guys could say the same thing?
That's very true.
And I think for that reason, so many of us go around with this weight on our shoulder that we show to no one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am grateful.
The world is kind of just still saying that this is how it is. And then the next generation comes thinking, well, this is how you have to do it. And I go lying to my son, grandson, or whatever, and saying, hey, this is what you have to do. But not telling them the truth that I got support from 4 or 5 brethren. Now, if from my generation, I say...
Expressing it's about expressing the will to know.
Right.
Expressing the raw emotion.
If I were to, from my son or grandson generation, say, hey, this is what you have to do. Hey, find friends, speak to them. You could come out to me, you could come to your father, whatever the case is.
And even express to them what up.
Eventually it will work. But I think 2 generations, 3 generations before us didn't do it. 2 didn't do it. The one before us didn't do it. So now we are
have to do it. You know,
doing it.
You know how you know what I really marvel at women for? How they reclaim the word hoe. Listen to what I'm saying, right? Like no. It's funny. It sounds funny. It don't matter what it is. It don't matter what it is. No, slut shaming is of course trying to embarrass a girl for enjoying sex. That's slut shaming, right? But what I'm saying is, you calling a girl hoe in 2020 is like
right between
so. And I feel, and they came together and reclaimed that. You can't call no girl no hoe, no slut or nothing, and it's an insult. Failure, right? I think we need to, as men, claim emotional, though. You understand?
It more...
No, but you understand what I'm saying? Like
I understand what you're saying, but I
or sensitivity.
Yeah.
We need to, because like, that is used. That is used against. Like, I have a virgin of mine relating this story, right? Where, his girlfriend was unfaithful. The man went and take some kind of mad walk to clear his head. Like, he just expressed in that one point and said, well, I'm to you, crucial, right? But the response is, well, I'm to you, boy, and this is from a woman, well, I'm to you, forget she, all can I get out there, just go and do your thing. Where being so, that needs to, you see the same way if you trying to call a girl a hoe, and it's like, use the ignorant one. If somebody calls you as a man emotional, they need to be the ignorant one. We as men need to, like, if I had a situation like that and a girl saying they're sensitive, I need to jump in and say, the man is a human, or it's like,
that shouldn't be attributed to.
You understand? Like, that's not weakness. What's wrong with you? You understand what I'm saying? Same way, if it is you trying to insult a girl just for enjoying it and say, girl, why use a hoe? Her female friend will probably jump in and say, oh, you vexed because you're not getting through. You understand? We need, like, as men, we need to kind of take down the thirsty levels. Because, men always want to play tanto to always impress girls. Like, take down the thirsty levels and kind of support your brethren through these kind of situations. Yeah. We need to reclaim that. We also need to reclaim the word broke, but we go, that's our next topic. That's our next tips.
Well,
but
that's our next tips.
I agree with that.
Let me just say, with regards to the emotional and sensitivity, I understand all the points, I agree, but this is something that goes way back and deals with, again, society. We are not taught to express our feelings, and for years and years, simple as growing up and somebody keeps saying, hey, this one talking in class, misses him do it and whatever, and why you always telling, I hush him out, these kind of things, So then somebody hit you a clout, you sit down and they shut him out, you take it up, you cry about it. You don't go and say, Mom, you just want to tap my head because what happened? You can't take a clout, you understand? So you keep keeping all these things, right? Then you meet this young woman, she asks you what happened, nothing. And because society has changed.
Yeah, that's what you've grown into.
Nothing. And I always draw this thing that happened to me when I was a young boy. Now, nothing's wrong with it, but when I got older, I asked the question. A bat flew into the house. It was myself, my sister, my mother, my father was on home at the time. And I said, go and run the bat. No, I'm about 7.
No, I do that.
So I went and I ran it back, but it's like after all these years, like, nobody asked me if I was afraid of this bat. But at the point in time, like, I am all of a sudden the male present. I am the male. I am the man.
Bat keep.
At that point in time.
Bat runner.
So
bat runner. Why go clown the man?
Nobody.
He's literally Batman, though.
Studied or asked a question.
You want to get him out for being Batman?
No, but I agree.
Because there was no transform. Hey, are you afraid? No. There's nothing like you just have to be.
You're expected
at that point.
Mine is a little funny because I just want to add because I think you're right. Like, I was in the same situation like you. My sisters or my mom, bat came in, and they closed. They closed the like inside the house. They have like some little sliding doors like a divide, and they closed it and left me with the bat. And I was like, I alone had to deal. You're safe, like. Yeah. Now I am Batman.
Male disposability. Right? That's one of the things that the man right
I was an older, but so I find it was funny. I lie down, try to think, balling at the bat, and they're safe. But the reality is, everybody calls on you. Like, you had to run the bat now.
And I think I kind of think is, I don't know, because I believe men and women very different. So it has certain things that I wouldn't say like, but when a girl need you for something, when a woman need you for something, it makes you feel like, okay, this is where, or this is a situation where I will be a man.
Right.
She need a man
I agree.
But what about if you see you're speaking on a situation that you know you probably could handle? But bro,
Even
if I afraid of the bat too,
right, but
I ain't really better than
even in that no, but I think
you know?
you are, because, and I think that's probably where I think men and women have certain strengths and weaknesses
Right,
that
cool.
will transcend physical, emotional,
Correct.
spiritual, even on different levels, that you could deal with situations a lot differently now.
No, I wouldn't lie. I could be by myself in a situation and be bummy. If I have a female friend with me, I have
It
no
will
fear dog.
motivate you to
No,
then-
not no.
Right,
Forget
cool.
motivate.
Cool.
I literally would have no fear dog, bro. I would be walking through a dark place, hella careful. If I have a woman with me, I have no fear and I'm more concerned with she.
It's a shift of energy.
No, but that comes
It's a shift
naturally.
of, yeah, it's a
And
shift
I
of
think
energy.
he able to draw for that. I don't think she able to draw for that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying women
All
more
right, that's-
coward or anything like
all
that.
right, that's what
I
you're
think
saying.
each of them have different strengths. And
No,
weaknesses.
obviously, of course,
And I think
we
that's something
equal.
we're able to
We're
draw for.
not identical.
But it's a shift
Right.
of energy.
Men and
because
women are equal. They're just not identical.
I always say a man's position is always between danger and the people around him,
right.
Right.
especially when a woman is in
Is present.
is present.
I like that. I like that.
Shit, I missed.
So, and why I say that is like there's a situation where I've been like my significant past significant I would have said, and some friends and all, when I in certain events, certain fests, like everybody's here. Well, I'm here. I stand back.
Like security,
And
bro. I always
and
get
I-
called
yeah,
security,
yeah,
bro.
and it had times where I'm like,
Seating.
I pull us area.
It don't rock back too far from the mic and make love to the mic.
2 seconds. Oh, I like. Let me say I'm in an event and from where I'm standing and my vantage point, I
vantage
look
point.
around. I pull her back and she's like, "What happened?"
Ref.
I say, "Move to the left," and then 2 seconds after, because it's a
Some
fight.
scene
It's a
happened.
fight blue. And she's like, "Well," I was like,
Yo.
"Well, I am. That's what I
Yo,
am."
I'm not
doing
gonna
at
lie.
that
That's
point in
the
time, now, boy.
beauty in the
Yo.
interaction, because you in that position and she
That-
feeling safe enough.
Correct.
Safe enough to be carefree. You see
Yeah.
that?
Do what she
Like,
had to do
bro,
because she know
that
you did.
that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I mean,
alright,
I wouldn't lie. That does fill me with pride,
Yeah,
because I am
of
the
course,
same
of
way. I
course,
would
of
take a rock back and like I would see a situation come in, say just come to the side, and she's like, "What do you mean?" Situation pass. Oh my god, me.
And you like that.
And I like that. I do.
And I think naturally you like that because that right. Just touch chest, boy. Just touch chest. I think you like that.
No, of course,
And
yeah.
that's a masculine thing within you. And I think even in
Yeah, it's
in
within,
the
it's
bringing
within.
Yeah, and I
to
don't
the
think that had to
awareness
change. I don't think that
of
should
the
change.
sensitive aspects and thing, because it had this comedian I was listening to, Bill Burr. He talking about men that die younger than women because you holding on to a lot of this emotional energy that you just. His examples was like you holding back from saying that a kitten very cute or being happy at seeing some flowers, or just
Yeah.
rather so like women have the freedom to get excited about like a pumpkin for Halloween or whatever, and you just have to be like whatever now,
Bro.
but because of that, he's saying men just holding on to this bag of just emotion within yourself that you're not able to just be free with your emotions. And that's what you hold on. Like he's saying when men reach a certain age, but the decliners be real different, and women will still be sharp, 60s, 70s, even into the mid 80s or whatever. Men and I just be looking crazy though. So, he said it's because of that,
Because
like, you
yeah,
just hold on to
so much. Yeah.
You understand?
No, but
Like,
here's-
you in that state.
Here's what I would say, and but you had to bring it to a close.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
come
yeah.
into our hour, right?
Right.
But to say that, because thankfully, because of like the couple of things I would have posted on social media, talking, couple young men would have reached out to me, and they were like, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm into anime, I just do the whole philosophy. I will be into comic book movies, things that would be casually defined as a nerd. And I would tell these young men, I would say, listen to me, aim to be the best you could possibly be, because what starts off as weird,
Yeah.
when it turns to successful,
Right.
becomes unique.
Everybody go come
You understand what I'm saying? It stopped being weird and something.
yeah.
So you see a kitten being cute and some flowers being nice and all kind of thing. My brother, you live your entire truth and become the best version of yourself.
Facts.
What becomes emotional turns into he's just in tune. The people would fix their descriptions of you the better of a person you become. Don't frighten.
True.
So express yourself.
Good
Trust me,
idea.
express
That's
yourself.
a good close.
You understand? So, gentlemen, are really happy this took place. We moved swiftly and with action.
As spontaneous and swift as it is.
And it was effective. And I wish that exact sequence and that exact energy into every project you all do in 2020. And everything had to be spontaneous. But let it be executed and let it flow, because this conversation flowed. I had no time to prepare because it was last minute. And I'm really happy that all of you all I'm really happy that all of you all agreed to come through. So if there's anything you all want to say to close.
I just happy to be here. I really like the concept and everything, you know, the conversation, the topics I think is very current and, you know, forward kind
Appreciate that, my brother. Yeah,
forward topics that we had to deal with, you know.
Right.
Glass empty, guys.
The glass and we'll fill it up now.
Fill it up.
Take a small shot. Just hold on 19 now. You just never drink. Just hold a small shot and go just serve us. This is the masculine moment. You're no chaser, bro. No chaser, bro. No chaser, bro. We just shots in. Alright. So yeah, no finish it. Carlos, say you happy.
Just
No. A pleasure for me to see everybody together, you know. Not all the time we
Max,
here and I help
we missing
you.
We missing you, Max.
It's really good to be in this environment.
One thing I'll say is I like the program. I like this setup, and I'm pledging here today, man. Some girls will be on board for some sponsorship.
Yes, man.
When that time comes back.
For sure, bro. And some panelists, bro, because I expect this to grow into something serious. This needs my dream with this is for it to be the most important podcast in the Caribbean. We need these kind of conversations. I mean, I've heard up here podcasts where people say, no, if you go let a girl have a threesome, like, dog, let me
Talk about something serious.
talk about something serious now. You know what I mean? So, gentlemen, all the best for 2020.
Same, man.
Right, cheers.
Wolves out.
Wolves out. This was tips. If you made it to the end of part 1 and part 2, I want to thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And tune in next time where we tip in our next jar. Thanks for listening.
I like that.